garden seeds in my AeroGarden today. I always plant my tomato seeds in here because I want my tomatoes to get a good head start before summer comes, because we really don't get out of freezing temperatures at night until June, middle of June usually. But I planted 2 of each because the area where I'm going to plant tomatoes this year, because I rotate, I really can only plant 8 plants at the most, and the place where I planted last summer has a larger area. But anyway, so I planted 14, and just in case one doesn't make it or I break one or whatever, I always try to plant, twice as much. And I will plant 7 and then double of something. I'll decide later. But I have black cherry tomato, San Marzanos, which are not good for slicing and eating in a salad because they're really pulpy, but they're nice to add some thickness to a sauce. Mortgage Lifter tomatoes. This is a cherry tomato called Tomato Tumbler. It's red. This is a Brandywine. This is a currant tomato. They were those little tiny yellow things that I planted last year. This is Flamme, and this is a yellow tomato tumbler. And so it's like this, but it's a yellow one. So I have, let's see, cherry tomato, cherry. Flammes are like golf ball sized. Currants are really tiny. These are regular big tomatoes. And San Marzanos are usually about that big, but like I said, they're really used mostly for a sauce. So these should start sprouting in the next couple of weeks, and then I'll transplant them to pots and have them ready to go in the ground the 1st of May inside walls of water, because that will protect them from the cold temperatures that we'll have into June. I noticed this on my hands when I went into Hobby Lobby the other day. It is called Raynaud's syndrome, and it's a circulation thing, and every so often I'll feel either my fingers or my toes get kind of numb, and I look down and like half of my hand or half of a finger just turns white, and then it goes away and it pinks up again. But it's such a weird thing to happen. Hi guys, it is Saturday and it is such a lovely day. Here we had snow just the other day and now it's 60 degrees. I'm in a jacket and I'm hot. So I'm heading home right now. I had to help my mom unload some stuff at her house and stopped at Hobby Lobby. I'm doing an organizing project in my kitchen for my baking stuff. I have a lot of baking stuff. And especially now that I'm starting to bake bread, I'm finding that I've got bread flour over here and all-purpose flour. We need to get our pantry enlarged is what we really need to do, and we're going to do that at some point. But right now, I definitely needed to get stuff in the same place. So I bought some glass jars from Hobby Lobby. Their glass containers are always at a very reasonable price, but this week they had them 50% off, so I bought 16 jars. And yesterday I had 11. I went back for a few more today, but yesterday I bought 11 and they would have come to $52. They came to $26, so that was amazing. And then I got 5 more today, and then I'm going to make little labels and all of that, so it'll be kind of cute. I'm going home after this to make a dessert and a batch of cornbread muffins. We are we're helping to host a going away party for our friends Jason and Nicole. Jason was the worship pastor at our church for the last 9 years, and they're moving back to where they're from in the South, in Tennessee, and so we're gonna miss them desperately. So yeah, we're having a small party today. We're not like inviting everybody who knew him at church or everybody on the worship team. We're just inviting the people that he hung out with, and
yeah, so it's going to be a small party, and our friends who are hosting it with us, it's going to be at their house. They're making chili and guacamole with chips, and then we're bringing salad, dessert, and corn. They asked for cornbread, but I have this really great recipe in the Bobby Flay Mesa Grill cookbook, and they're cornbread muffins that have fresh diced red bell pepper, jalapenos, cilantro, and also it's made with 2 different kinds of cornmeal. So half yellow cornmeal and half blue cornmeal. They don't taste different on either side, but they look a little different. So they're just kind of cool. So I thought I would do that. So I'm gonna head home and start cooking, and then we have that party at 5, and I don't know if that's going to be the last time we see them. I actually offered to them on the day, you know, when movers come, it always ends up taking longer than you think it's going to pack up your house. And so do they really want to pack up their house and then hit the road in the evening and like just barely get to New Mexico before they have to get a hotel? It seems a little pointless to do that. So we offered for them to stay at our house after they've loaded up the truck and the truck is gone. We've offered them to stay the night at our house before they go. So we may have one more evening with them. Yeah. So I'm giving them we're giving them a few little parting gifts. One of the things I'm giving them is a pine needle basket, and I'm telling him that well, obviously pine needles are, you know, these are from Flagstaff, but years ago when not long after they lived here, John had one of his many ankle surgeries, and it was around the fall, and our yard was in desperate need of being raked, and he came over and helped me rake and bag up 18 bags of pine needles. Yeah. So that this pine needle basket is kind of in part to just recognize his generous spirit and how he was always so willing to help people. It will also be a reminder to him that he will never have to rake that volume of pine needles ever again. And then also when you smell the pine needle baskets, they smell like pine trees. And so anytime he or she smell the basket, they will be reminded of this place where so many people love them out west. So yeah, it's kind of bittersweet. I'm looking forward to the party, but I'm sad that it's a going away party. I wish it didn't have to be a going away party. Well, we're heading over to the going away party. I've been cooking most of the afternoon, and I'll try to remember to take a picture of those cornmeal muffins to show you. They're really pretty and tasty. And in addition to having butter that people can put on those muffins, I'm also bringing some of the, it's a jelly by a company called Peppery, like potpourri, but peppery. And they make these really good hot jellies. They're sweet, but they're hot. So one of them is hot garlic. Believe it or not, it's really good. Hot raspberry, hot pomegranate, hot cranberry. You chose cranberry, right? Yeah. And so, gosh, this weird light on my face. Anyway, so we're gonna serve some of that hot cranberry pepper jelly to go with it, which I think will be good. Man, that's a weird light.
You'll see rays coming off of it, yeah. Like when you're looking right at the light, but now I see that.
I started the diet right before Christmas.
Concentric circles of little dots of light.
So it hasn't been as long.
And that's
So that's not bad, actually, 3 months. That's pretty good for us.
That's pretty good.
So I
There,
intended for
I can see them better.
just a standard.
So
Vlogging.
I was gonna just say, but I didn't want to while you were on the
Guys,
video.
remember Jackie from Empty Nester Life channel. This is her friend Lisa. So anyway, we're getting things all ready for the party.
Her daughter's at EMT.
Their backyard is so beautiful. So they've got stairs that go down to this area here, and then there's more stairs that go down to this little area, so their dog can go out and not escape. And then they back up to forest. Here you can see we still have snow, but yeah, they just have. Oh, and then this area over here, they just have a lovely home. I think I love it.
I would have one if you could stay outside. Jackie and I do this song at karaoke. It's such a bad song. It really is. They belong.
Hi guys, it is Monday and I'm heading over to the DMV. I actually have an appointment for getting my travel ID. Are all states having to do that, or is that just something they're doing in Arizona? I guess after October 21st, it was supposed to be 2020, but they bumped it back for obvious reasons. But after October 21st or something like that, 2021, so this coming fall, you no longer can use a regular state driver's license to travel on like planes. And I guess you would have to carry a passport. Yeah. And so if you don't want to carry a passport for travel, just within the United States, then you have to get this travel ID driver's license. And so you have to actually make an appointment. There's no way to do it online. You actually fill out your application online, and then you have to select 4 different kinds of identification to bring, and I have to bring them with. So there are all these different options of what you can do for your primary and secondary IDs. And so I have my driver's license, my social security card, like the original social security card. I had to dig it out and see. I was like, I don't even know where that is. And then a utility bill and my passport. So, and actually I'm glad that I got out my passport, because I realized that it expires in 2023, and which, you wouldn't think is a big deal, but we have a cruise planned in May of 2022, and you really, in most of the time, you cannot travel on a passport that has like a year or less than a year left on it before its expiration. And so it's just a reminder that we need to get our passports renewed before we do that trip next year. So anyway, I've got all my identification. John's appointment is next week, and I'm heading over to the DMV, and I don't know what they do. But they basically just make sure that you're an American citizen and that I have no idea. But what I do know is that after October, if you don't have one of these things when you're traveling, then, within the United States, you have to have a passport or you don't travel. So I guess they're really cracking down. So all that to say, we have been putting this off for quite some time. We've known about it for a couple of years, and we were going to do it last summer. That was kind of our intention last year, was to do it last summer. And then, of course, everything happened with the pandemic, and so they bumped the date back, and now we're back to getting that done. John doesn't work on Mondays, and he asked me today if I wanted to go have lunch, which is kind of fun. I mean, isn't that silly that I think that's fun? But there's 2 things about it that are fun. One is we are both vaccinated. And while I technically have probably 2 more weeks before I'm fully protected, because it's supposed to be 80% protection after the first shot, and then 95% protection 20 days after the second shot. So I'm still good. I'll be even more protected in a couple more weeks. But the other thing is that Arizona, okay, let me step back again. So I think I said something about this before, but one of the things about going to restaurants during the pandemic, and we've not done it very often, but we have gone, especially at an indoor place, which we've only gone to a few times, is that what is part of what makes going to a restaurant fun is the energy in there that comes from people. And when they take out 75% of the seating and everyone's in these little secluded booths and everything like that, you may be getting some really good food from that place, but the experience is definitely compromised. And that's kind of sad. But I heard that the other day that our governor completely opened we still have a mask mandate, and so you're still supposed to wear a mask inside of stores, and when you walk into a restaurant you have to wear a mask, and then when you sit down at your place then you can remove your mask. But we're apparently open for 100% capacity for seating, and so that's pretty awesome. And so it'll be interesting to see wherever it is we go if people are feeling comfortable enough to get out. Some friends of ours said they went past Texas Roadhouse the other day and that the parking lot was absolutely packed and that people are just so ready to get back to life again. Yeah, I sure am. I just can't wait. Remember that thing that I'm really hoping for? 4th of July parade. That's what I'm hoping for. How do you feel about being in a restaurant, honey? Okay, I just have to say that I love being in a restaurant with noise. I mean, this is like the first time in a year that I've been in a restaurant where there's people talking and laughing, and it's not this quiet little place where people are, remotely eating their food. This makes me feel normal again. Just got my new Sips By box. These are the teas that I got for March. It's kind of fun. It always tells on the back what they are. And this particular box has, what is this? This is a coffee level caffeine. This one is a low caffeine. This one's caffeine free. And then another one is high caffeine. And they always give you some bags that are for the loose leaf tea. And high energy tea, and that's probably that's green tea. Organic black tea, and what is that one? Herbal tea berry. Oh yum! I asked for. I changed. You can go in and you can change your little questionnaire about the kind of tea you like, and I said I wanted things that were more with flavors. And so they gave me mint and berry, and this one's super berry. So yeah, they definitely changed what they gave me this time, which I like a lot. Hey guys, we are heading over to the vet for Monica. She just has to is it every year? I think it's every couple of years. They have to get a heartworm test, so they draw blood and just make sure that they don't have heartworm. She gets a heartworm pill every month, which actually in Flagstaff is not necessary, because I think on official record there has never been a case of heartworm in a dog in Flagstaff because it's just too chilly here. And so dogs who are here all the time really don't need it. But because we periodically take Monica down to Phoenix, and we take her with us almost every time we go to San Diego, we just feel like it's best for her to just regularly take a heartworm pill, just so that, you know, if she's someplace where they are more common, then, you know, she would be protected. So in order for us to get her prescription refilled, she has to have the test. You would think, why do you have to test them if they're consistently on it? But apparently that became law in Arizona a few years back, and so we have to do that. So we're doing that. She's also due for a Bordetella. I don't know, do you call it a vaccine? They squirt it in her nose. And that is required from day camp so that none of them pass along, what is it, whooping cough or some kind of something? Kennel cough, that's what it is, which probably sounds like whooping cough. But yeah, so to keep them all from getting kennel cough or passing it on to one another, every dog there is required to have their updated Bordetella. And we're going to a different vet. We're switching because this vet is closer. We thought we were going to be living on the opposite side of town when we moved back to Flagstaff, and so I thought that would be a good place to go. And then we, you know, as it turned out, we just moved to the complete opposite side of town. So this vet we're going to start going to is about in the center of town, so it's not very far. And then the other reason that we're switching, we had a vet over at the other place who we really liked, and then she had a baby and she quit, and I think she only does veterinary work for horses now, and so we lost her. But they are still, I mean, they're still doing the curbside treatment because of COVID, so no clients can come in with their pets. You drop them off, somebody comes out to the car, gets them, they do the exam, do whatever they need to do, and then they call you on the phone and give you a summary, and then they, you know, you pay over the phone, and then they, you know, so they're ultra careful, which was great at the beginning. But I kind of feel like now, I don't know, maybe you guys disagree with me, but I feel like now we're at a place where, well, first of all, let me just say that when you have a vet exam of your pet, you get way more out of that exam education-wise when you're in there, standing there, having the vet ask you questions or point out things as they're doing the exam than you do with a summary. And I feel like if they're going to charge the same amount, but you just get a summary of the appointment, that it's just, you're not really getting your money's worth. And I feel like a vet exam is a way more than an exam of the animal. It's about educating the owner. And so with my 3 animals, we've had several vet exams over the last year. And I guess it hit me when I went to get my teeth cleaned. And here I am thinking, the dentist office is open. I'm going in there, I'm sitting in a chair, I have my mouth wide open, I'm not wearing a mask. The lady who's doing my cleaning has a mask and a shield and, you know, a throwaway, disposable, you know, thing over her. And, you know, all of that. And if they're able to get into your open mouth to do a teeth cleaning, then why can't a vet place let the owner in when they're examining the animal? I don't know. And I feel like if there are people who have, you know, fragile conditions that, you know, if they choose to do the curbside thing, then great. But I don't know. And so this particular place that I'm taking her to, my mom takes her dog there, my friend Donna takes her dogs there, and the way they're doing it is they are keeping people from congregating in the lobby, but in the room the pet owner can go in, and, you know, the vet and the owner wear masks, and I'm sure they have you stand, you know, on the opposite side of the room. And so they're taking precautions. But so when I get there, I will call and let them know I'm there. And then when they're ready for us to come in, we go in, they usher us straight to a room, and then the exam proceeds. So I just figured that fits our needs better at this point. And I hope, and I'm guessing they do still offer curbside, or that they do offer curbside at this place for people who maybe have compromised health and are having to be, ultra cautious and, haven't been vaccinated and things like that. So I'm sure that they are offering that as an option. But I just felt like, we've done the curbside thing for a year now, and it's time for me to get in there with a vet and actually have them talk to me about the health of my animals. So I'm not saying that everybody should do that. I'm just saying that fits us. So
Did you get some blood drawn? Get a Band-Aid on your arm? They said that her toenail is healed up well and that she can go back to day camp. Monica, hey. She doesn't want to look at me when I'm wearing a mask. Anyway, and they said that we should cut back her food just a little bit. We have been cutting it back and replacing the volume that she's not getting with vegetables, green beans, carrots, and peas. But they said cut back by about 10% because she's a little chunky, which we knew. But we had to pull her off of weight control food because it's made primarily with chicken. And she is apparently allergic to that because she gets ear infections. So she's on salmon now. Hey you guys, so my mom and I got together for another one of our art days. So I want to show you some of the alcohol ink pictures that I did today. Okay, so this is one that I had done before, but it had nothing over here. And when I put it in a frame, it just looked really empty. So I added some stuff there to that. Then I made this interesting one. And my mom encouraged me to put some white and black lines to sort of make a suggestion of some flowers. So that one kind of came out cool. This is my favorite. Oh my gosh. I was going to make purple flowers. I started with dots of purple ink, and then I put in some of this brown stuff thinking I was going to make a background, and all of a sudden it started to come to me that maybe they should be flower petals. And yeah, I don't know, I just love that. And I put some, I don't know if you can see that, there's like some gold in there. And then this one is not finished, but I'm liking how it started. I had put 3 different colors of kind of purpley things in each of 5 spots, and then they sort of reminded me of pansies. So I thought, wouldn't it be kind of good to make it seem like these small flowers in a big mass, and on top of the big mass of leaves. So I used a couple different colors of ink, and so now I need to let this dry, and I probably need to use pens to kind of define things a little bit there. So that one I'm still working on. The ones I've finished I signed. So, but man, I love that one. Golly, I love that one. Hey guys, so I'm heading over right now to pick up my new glasses. Yay. They're quite different from these, and they're green. They're kind of green on the top, and then they sort of fade to a brown down at the bottom, and they're more rectangular. And I think I mentioned to you guys before that I'm leaving these at the eye doctor place, and they're going to, I have scratch resistant coating on my glasses, but I've had them for 2 years. And there's a 2-year warranty that I was not aware of. And I just happened to mention it when I was there the last time, that I had this one tiny little scratch, but it's right in the front of the lens. And it turns out that my warranty had expired like 2 or 3 days before I had my appointment. So the lady called whoever and said, will you guys still honor the warranty? And they said they would. So I'm going to leave these glasses with them so that they can send them in and get the scratch taken off and a new coating put on, which will be really nice. And then I'll have 2 pairs of glasses. Okay, you guys, here are my new glasses. I don't know if you can see them. They're kind of a dark green up here, almost like they're plastic. This is metal. And then almost like a metallic looking green. And then down here, they kind of go to a brown. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, there you can see it. See where, right about there, it starts to go from green to brown. Still has that coating, the scratch resistant coating
that's purple. It's really good. It does make a weird purple reflection, but yeah, I like them. I like that they're different, and I'm happy to have them. Another snowy day today. Not too much snow. If you look down there, I don't know, maybe, well, this morning it looked like maybe it was about an inch. It looks like maybe it's a little bit more than that, maybe an inch and a half. It's supposed to snow for the next 2 days, but we're really not supposed to accumulate more than maybe about 4 inches, if that. Hey guys, can you see that it is snowing? Yeah, it's kind of nice that it's continuing to snow. I am going to meet Donna for lunch. We're going over to this Vietnamese restaurant that I've never been to before. So check that out. Yeah. So I'm making one quick stop first. I'm going to Walmart, and I'm hoping they're going to have what I'm looking for. So there's this kind of candy that comes out at Easter, and they're chocolate covered marshmallow eggs by, it's very specific here, by a company called Zachary, not the Russell Stover ones. And John loves these ones by Zachary. They're kind of not really soft, mushy marshmallow. They're kind of chewy and covered with sort of a dark chocolate, and they're really, really good. And we found them at Walgreens for $1. John had picked up $1 a piece for a dozen, and John had picked up a couple, and then I went to a different Walgreens and found some, and they only had four cartons left. And so I bought all 4 of them, and I went back yesterday and they didn't have any. So I went on to Walmart.com, their grocery stuff, and it appears that they carry these. So I just want to pick some up so we have them, because they only sell them at Easter time. And when I looked online, they were really expensive, like $4 a dozen box. A dozen in a box, $4. And that's a big difference from $1. Ooh, Walmart has them. Zachary chocolate covered marshmallow eggs, and they were selling them for $1. They had 9 boxes. I bought all 9 of them. I certainly did not expect this. Got like another 6 inches of snow overnight. John's out shoveling off the driveway and the top of his truck. His truck does a good 6 inches of snow on top of it. Kind of crazy. Yes, you guys. I was just looking out the window in my office. So there were a whole bunch of them before this. Just caught the tail end. Ah, such beautiful elk. So I just made a cherry crumble. The crumble kind of caved in on it, but it's really tasty. But the main reason I'm showing you this is because one of the things you guys may remember that I did is in July. I think is it July and August when cherries are in season? I bought a couple of bags, washed them, and then laid them out on cookie sheet with parchment and froze them. And then once they were individually frozen, then I put them into a Ziploc bag. That keeps them from freezing together in a big clump. And then I also bought apples, peeled those, put them in a solution of water and lemon juice, laid those out flat to freeze and put them in a Ziploc, and I did the same thing with peaches. I think that's it. But anyway, all that to say, for fall up through now, March, I've been making these crisps and crumbles and cobblers, and it's just been really tasty because the fruit is, it was frozen when it was at its freshest, and it tastes really good. And finally, here are some pictures of our beautiful Diana. She's 1.5 years old now, and she is just the prettiest little thing.